ladies and gentlemen, to another Monday Night Raw review for December 2nd, 2013. And before we start the show, I'm Will, aka the MVP of the Bay. Before we get on to review, I would like to take this moment of silence to acknowledge the passing of Paul Walker for the famous Fast and Furious series. He died in an accident, left behind a daughter. He will be missed, and he was a small-time wrestling fan. And The Rock and everybody else was in mourning. And now we kick it up to the shining star, Rick Starr.
Oh, thank you, Will. And, of course, as you said, this is going to be our Raw review. And, guys, well, that was an interesting Raw we had. Anyways, the show opens up with CM Punk talk about the Shield attacking them last week, and he pretty much summed it up to say, you know what, this was all about the Authority, because I criticized the Authority last week, or more so, he criticized Triple H. And before he could go any further, who comes up but Stephanie and says, "Listen, CM Punk, this is not what it has to do with it. You're making accusations over nothing." And, they go back and forth a little bit. And then, of course, who comes out but Kane? CM Punk is pretty much says, when did you become the big red ass kisser? And, of course, Kane tries to, keep himself in check, and he still tries to, and Punk's just still trying to push his buttons. You can see he wants to go down the ring and kick his ass, but Stephanie's just keeping the reins back. So instead, what's he do? He sets up a match for TLC, which is a handicap match, which is CM Punk versus The Shield. And overall, I wouldn't say it was too bad of a segment, but it wasn't really a great segment. So overall, I'd have to give it, I guess, 3 out of 5. So, yeah. Will, your thoughts?
My thoughts about this was a whole pile of potato salad and turkey and ham and all that. No, just kidding. The way they set this up, going for their match at whatever match what's our next pay-per-view?
TLC.
TMT.
TMT, CMZ, whatever. You know what? Punk is going to give them a fight. Do not get me wrong on this one, gentlemen. He's going to give him a fight, but he's going to get out-wrestled. I thought Singh was alright, but more 3-on-1 going into TLC is going to be extraordinarily challenging. And hey, if he can defy the odds he did before, he can do it again. That's what I think.
The ultimate challenge. Oh no, you know what that means.
What's that mean, Ash?
The Ultimate Warrior will be back.
So, Ash, what did you think of the segment, real quick?
Oh, it did what it had to do. It's leaving the doubt there as to whether Shield are now starting to run and do their own things to try and take abuse of the position that they're in, or perhaps, like the Wyatt family, they've got their own higher power.
All right. How would you score it?
Probably a standard 3, but no, there was much worse later on in the night, so don't think by giving it a 3 it was rubbish.
All right, Lance, over to you.
Well, we've seen a lot worse opening segments, but sad thing is, we've seen a shit ton better, so I'll give it a 3.
Where was El Torito?
Right down the line.
Yeah, that's later. That's later. That's later.
All right. And James, how about you? Your thoughts?
This is an interesting setting up a handicap match for TLC. So it's decent, but I give it a middle 3.
All right, Joe?
Wow. I would give it a 2.5. It was decent, but, to me, you know what? Watching Raw, it's like it becomes a chore. There's really nothing that I can say that really has me rolling and moving and interested in it. But, yep, I have to give it a 2.5.
All right. Well, Will, why don't you talk about the number one contender match between Dolph Ziggler and Damien Sandow?
Oh, this match, the match that happened, and last week was the Hamptons hardcore match. All right, well, I could say it like this. We all knew that they were not going to put Ziggler over to face Big E. And the way that they're trying to put Sandow, after he lost his Money in the Bank, he's trying to solidify a better spot than what he had before. Match 3, but, it's finally interesting that they gave him a new finisher. And, it was an okay match, I wish he had a new shirt, but we won't talk about that because we already know how many times we talked about Christian getting a new shirt. But overall, going into
don't
TLC,
let WWE hear you. They may give him a new shirt.
I don't care if they watch this. I don't care if they listen to the show or not. I really don't care.
Hi,
They've got to
WWE.
listen to this show. They brought El Torito back.
Yeah.
Rick. But yeah, overall, Rick, I'll give it a 3. Sandow, better finisher, thank God. And I hope this is an okay build-up, but I think I already know who's going to win this match come the pay-per-view. So, yeah.
All right, and I have to agree with you. It was kind of obvious as who's going to win. So again, I have to give it a 3. James, your thoughts?
Decent match. I was flipping back and forth from Raw to the football game, but I've seen a good bit of this match. This was a decent match, but I know who's gonna win the match at TLC. I give it 3.
All right, Ash.
Yeah, it did what it had to do, distract the New Orleans Saints fans from having to watch the game that happened. But just waiting. No snide comments that time. Okay. Yeah, 3 out of 5.
He was making fun of James, Billy, and everybody else with Mama.
I did catch it, but I was trying to hold on.
What's wrong with feeling? No.
I kind of gave up after the first quarter, so yeah.
So did the team. Next.
No, they gave up. No, they gave up before the game started. Okay.
It's all right. At least the team didn't give up before Wade Barrett did.
Oh.
I would make a Sin Cara joke, but we'll get to that later.
You mean Hunico? Anyway, moving along.
Hey, they're not supposed to know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I guess the joke's out then.
He's going to retract that later, ladies and gentlemen.
Did I forget the match? Oh, we got a Divas match. I know.
On it.
Yeah, I kind of figured why you skipped that match.
Flag on the flag.
And then he wonders why he's in charge of the Diva Award.
They're not supposed to know that.
Go ahead.
Well, it's really wasn't up to standards because, as you know, obviously WWE basically no shit with the Divas. Especially with the fact that AJ was skipping around the ring 3/4 of the match. But I guess they was going to push the fact that Natalya did get the win over AJ, and he have officially made the match for AJ and Natalya for TLC for the Divas Championship. And I know who will win the title. I'm just not going to say, but it was not good. I will give it a 1.5 out of 5.
I got distracted by Donkey saying to Shrek, "That is a nice boulder."
No, James, I'm sorry. Lance.
Well, seeing AJ and them short Daisy Duke looking thing, I gotta give it a 2. Just for them,
Right.
just for that ass.
Just
I'm gonna be straight up.
All right, and Joe, your thoughts, real quick.
That we should just forget. They should every time the Diva's about to come out, just take the ropes down and put a tub of chocolate.
Yes.
Anything
Yes.
different. Let's not make them wrestle, because one, besides Natalya, the only one that wrestles, I'm not really interested in AJ skipping around. I was waiting for someone to come running around like Tamina turn around and just clothesline her once she skipped around. And then this Summer Rae dancing like an idiot, like da 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 da. Like, look, I'm a great dancer. To me, the whole diva segments, it's just ridiculous. It's like, I'd rather watch Wendy Richter get screwed over by Fabulous Moolah for the title than watch all these diva matches. Put a tub of chocolate in the middle, let them go at it. That's a lot better than watching. To me, I give this match a 2 because the only reason it's got that high is because Natalya got the win.
The second,
All right.
personally, I think deserved a 15 because AJ Lee's workout routine and skipping around the ring is much more sensible than insanity.
can I retract my previous statement and go with what Ash just said?
Will, all right, your thoughts on the Divas match?
All right, you know what? I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Cut the BS. Cut it thinly with mustard. AJ skipping around. I just wish a fan would have just threw something from the upper deck and had it hit AJ. That would have been the best segment of the fucking night. Because that was,
Amen.
was disrespectful. Because 1, you're in a match. 2, you're supposed to be on the ring apron. 3, you think that's going to get you anywhere? You got Natalya coming up. So prancing around is your everyday exercise, or is it a written diploma for your demise?
Can I add something to this?
I'm just going to add it like that.
Can I add something to this?
Sure.
To me, I feel like WWE's making AJ look weak, giving her a bodyguard.
Well, I think that. Go ahead.
The thing is, it's like when she first won the title. Well, besides having BE, but Big E is not a difference maker because he's a guy. But
and
Webster,
remember,
Webster on steroids. That is, we all know how he is.
Yeah, but
remember, she's related to The Rock.
but that's
I think he might be pushing his foot down.
That's Tamina though. But the fact is that they made AJ like this big, known heel that could, attack you, hit you with the Black Widow. Recently, they just have only AJ maybe just do the Black Widow and nothing else.
I think it's a part of a storyline. I think the idea is they're going somewhere with it. Where they're going right now, I don't think we know. But
let me put in. I think I know where they're going with this. If they, first of all, she did that pipe bomb. A couple months ago. I started taking her seriously. I was like, okay, they smarten her character up. She's gonna go in there and kick ass. She wasn't a little diva. She wasn't anything. She was gonna go in there and do something. Then they notice how she started slowly reverting back to her little skip type little boxy girl. And right when they started giving her back the Psycho Diva thing is when Mickie James started going to the Performance Center to train. I think what they're going to do is a segment where either Tamina's going to turn on AJ or another Psycho Diva is going to come in and say, hey, I could do this better than you, and start tormenting her. So I can see it while they'll probably look to pit one Psycho Diva against another one. Because that's all they have left, gentlemen. That's all they have left. You can't give the belt to anybody else.
If they do maybe a Psycho Diva, I could see a WrestleMania though. But I don't see.
Hashtag we want Paige.
Ashley. But I don't even see AJ holding the belt into WrestleMania. I don't even see her.
Probably not. I think if they're gonna do a diva, a Psycho Diva versus Psycho Diva, obviously it's not gonna be for the title because they're not gonna want to put the title on. They're not gonna want to put a title on her. So I think it's just gonna be just not for the title, for the belt.
We all know Nicole Bass will be champion by the end of the year.
Yeah, I got your next Divas champion. For you guys, here it is. Since you can't give the belt no more to the same people over and over, Here is your new Divas champion, Hornswoggle. It's Hornswoggle going to win. He's going to come in a little tutu. He's going to challenge her, and he's going to do the little girl. He's going to what would be called the little tadpole splash.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
What's the female equivalent of El Torito?
El Torito.
El Tortilla.
No. It's gonna be
That's
Nando.
Nando's, isn't it?
Hey, that's true.
Hey, no.
Well, we're getting off track here, so why don't we get back to the review here? So why don't we get on to the next match? Moving on, we're going to get on to the Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan's match, which we tried with. This was, again, back and forth match. Not a good, it looked like for a second that Rowan was going to get the match, but get the win, but Bryan had got a roll up, got a quick win. Rowan and Harper got in, they was getting ready to attack him, then all of a sudden, Bryan...
Bray Wyatt called him off.
Bray Wyatt, thank you. Bray Wyatt appeared on the screen, who was not out, and told the guys to say, hey, step off. And then he pretty much, in his own words, tried to coerce Bryan to join the Wyatts. His clan, so to speak, guys. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not sure if I'm really going to see this happening. It looks like, just a way of extending the storyline, so to speak. Now, Joe said that they had done it the wrong way. I can probably see this doing it just a little bit quicker way just to get it to the TLC match. And that's going to be about it. Ash, what were your thoughts about the segment?
It's leaving the tease there as to possibly turning him heel again. Because I think if they do go down the line of trying to have him versus Punk, let's say, and having Cena and Orton out of a title picture and trying to let this, 10th anniversary again be kind of the new slate, making history once again, pushing new people. Somebody has to be a heel and a face in that match, really. You don't want two faces going in to hugely split the crowd, and I think it'll be interesting to see how they go. I don't want them to go too stupid and, have him start dressing in the Hawaiian shirts and actually, become one of the family. Because then I just fear that we're going to have a cult-like finish. And to be honest, we don't need a Waco on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. If he joins that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to have to, unfortunately, get with the whole clan. And you know what I mean? I see where your point is, and it's gonna. I really don't want to see him join the Wyatts. I really don't think it'll work. That's just my thoughts. Will, what are your thoughts about it?
Oh Lord, do I really want to speak on this? I'll just
next.
say. That's the same thing I was thinking. Good call, Ash. No, I'll just put it into one sentence because there's not really much to say about this. Where are we going to see another edition of Bad News Barrett? Because I don't give a damn for anything else right now.
Fair enough. All right, then. You know what? Let's get on to the next match.
Well, I've got some bad news for you. It's been cancelled.
Lance, you know what? Why don't you take on the match between Xavier Woods and R-Truth versus Tons of Funk?
Well, a little bit of backstory about it. For people who don't watch SmackDown like myself, basically Tons of Funk or Bros Clay got pissed off that he felt that Xavier Woods disrespected him. And good back and forth match, but then I don't remember the finish, but I know R-Truth and Xavier Woods picked up the win. And then there looks to be a little bit of dissension in between Tons of Funk.
I just think Brodus Clay has watched too much Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Basically, the win I just know was just a terrial roll-up, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's sloppy.
It was
say, is it worse than Eva Marie's?
Yes.
Yeah. That was a shitty-ass roll-up, guys. And, the match itself was okay, but the roll-up was crap.
Is a son of a bitch.
Yeah. Joe, let me ask you: have you ever seen a lousier roll up, or anywhere else?
Oh yes, definitely. I've gone to indie shows where I've just seen the worst roll-ups, the worst pins, the worst splashes. You name it, I've seen it. And these guys who are on center stage, they're at the top of the game. They're at the peak, where everybody wants to run through. And on this show, I saw so many lousy pins. It's crazy. And this one was really, really bad. I don't know if it was an off night, but this is the thing that it came back to me, my thoughts. And I'm going to enlighten you guys, and you guys tell me. It goes back to the point where everybody is complacent. They're happy with what they are. They don't care too much if they screw up or anything like that. They don't care about moving up or moving down. They're just happy where they're at. That's it. And you would thought they would have gone and done the move over and done it better to show, hey, I know how to do it. But no, they just let it go. So, oh man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I think that's probably been one of the big problems we've talked about here, in the WWE over the past couple of months. But moving on, Ash, why don't you talk about this match? And I know this is one of your biggest matches that you want to talk about, which is Sin Cara versus Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kick this over to you.
This was automatically significant because obviously the last time Sin Cara was in a match was against Alberto Del Rio, and Alberto Del Rio injured his pinky or something. Which led to his action figure having a sling, allegedly. Somehow I think that's worked up. Whoever did that was brilliant. Amazingly, Sin Cara Negro got the win.
They're not supposed to know that.
Hey, if they want to know who Sin Cara Negro was, they just need to go to Wikipedia. I'm not telling them. They've got to find out for themselves. It's called the knowledge, people. A sneaky sort of a sneaky botch spot right at the end. Quote Jerry Lawler, "You're not going to miss that." Oh wait, he did. Yeah, Sin Cara Negro getting the win, which was, I guess, something significant. But I just love the fact that Alberto Del Rio just rolled out, and then it's like, oh dear.
I'm just gonna say, who did Alberto Del Rio piss off for that to happen?
I'm not sure if he pissed anybody off. I think he just was. They're just trying to push back Sin Cara to try to get the Sin Cara character back in, back up to status. Wouldn't you agree, Joe? What do you think? What do you think?
I think basically what they were trying to do is, again, like I agree with what you said. They're trying to build up the Sin Cara character because it's been trashed by the original. I mean, he was really bad before, but I see he's improved. But I think basically they just needed to get him that huge win, that big win over somebody. And regardless of anything, Del Rio is a former champion. So, I was expecting him to take off the mask and it'll be Ricardo under there, starting a new storyline. But maybe they're here's another thing. Maybe they're looking to have another mask guy replace Rey Mysterio, since he's going to be gone soon. So
that's not true. He's on for at least 2 more years.
Yeah.
That is not true.
Well, until he breaks something again.
Oh yeah.
What's to say Sin Cara ain't gonna break something again?
Yeah. Because it's not the same Sin Cara. I mean, he's a veteran Sin Cara. Yeah.
Will, over to you. Your thoughts.
I'm over here laughing. I was just mute on second for a moment. I'm just like, we knew something was wrong with this match. Because I don't remember seeing Sin Cara with a tattoo. Unless he got beat up so bad, they just put some blue paint, made it seem like he had some tattoo. But the match, I'm going to go on a limb and say, I'm not shocked. Is the Sin Cara image supposed to get better? Or is the real Sin Cara recovering from the injury that Ashley said earlier? But if it was, from the report, from what James said, if it was Hunico, then maybe we'll see him back up on the main roster. But you know what? Del Rio losing, this had to have meant something. We don't know just yet. Time will progress when this happens. But now that we know it's Hunico and not the less injured Pinky Wise of the Rio Sin Cara, I could give this an OK 3. Just shocking how it ended.
Remember, they're not supposed to remember this.
All right, and up next is the Big Show and the Rhodes brothers versus the Shield. Will, why don't you talk about this match?
All right, here we go. Well, you know what? This came off as one of the most interesting matches of Raw. 6-man tag. You have the tag team champions and the world's largest athlete versus the boys in black. And you know what? Tough on both ends. I've seen Roman Reigns stepping it up ever since his dominance was in Survivor Series, in which that was amazing. You know, they're going to probably put the limelight more on Roman Reigns, what we talked about throughout the weeks. Match 3, surprise Rollins got the pin, and come TLC when all three of them go against Punk, I wonder which one's going to stand out the most. Spoiler alert very soon, but match 3, it was a good match.
All right. Ash, your thoughts?
Goldust doing a bloody Hurricane Rana. Or what? I can't even remember what it was. It was just fucking awesome.
All right, James, your thoughts?
This was actually a decent match for me. It was a long match, but it was decent. I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
All right, and Lance, your thoughts?
And this is coming from somebody who has said before, I do not really enjoy tag team matches. This was an enjoyable tag team match for me.
All right.
Shit, history is made.
No, history will be made if I ever say I really enjoyed the John Cena match. That'll be freaking history.
Didn't that happen tonight? Oh wait, we'll get to that.
I know. He didn't wrestle.
Close enough. Joe, real quick, your thoughts?
Every time the Rhodes go in there with the Shield, it's been always magic. It's been finally some good tag team matches. But notice one thing. It took Goldust to team up with Cody to improve Cody. Now, if you're noticing, Cody does a Hurricanrana or whatever, a moonsault. Goldust tops it by doing one himself. So I think there's a little bit of brother competition there. And it's just helping Cody get better. So the Shield, obviously an excellent team. I hope they keep them together. Hope they keep them going. That out of from a 1 to 5, that was the 5 for me because they actually get involved in the match.
Well, there's some I'm kind of confused about this match.
Okay.
You know, last week they had the injury thing with Big Show. I'm surprised they didn't go for that injury angle again.
You know,
many people were probably shocked about. I'm there with you.
You know what?
Perhaps Chris Nowinski got involved.
I want to say something about this, and I'll make it quick. Yeah. Every storyline that the WWE comes up with, all of a sudden drops. And it doesn't drop in a matter of a month, 2 months. It goes in a week. And I said this before, when Daniel Bryan was abducted by the Wyatts, the whole sketch could have been stretched out. He could have been dumped in a basement in their little log cabin, and he was tortured until they brainwashed him into thinking he's a Wyatt. You know, same thing with Big Show. Here's Big Show who got punted in the head, who had this great build-up, punted in the head, loses out, and he comes back normal, the smiling, grinning, big oaf that he is.
And meanwhile, Christian has been out for almost 6 months on what? A concussion.
Absolutely. You know, this man's got to be the biggest company man I've ever seen because he will do anything. Yes, Mr. McMahon. Shit on my head. Yes, Mr. McMahon. Go ahead. You know,
kiss your ass. Yes, Mr. McMahon.
Well, we know he's done that, but
again, you know what? You shove your head up my ass. Okay, yes, Mr. McMahon.
You know, and the thing is, WWE creative team needs to stretch these storylines. It'll make it much more interesting. I can't understand why they can't focus. There's 11 months left in a year. Just because you finish 1 month for storylines, now you don't know what else to do for the rest of the year. Stretch it out a bit. Damn, that's all I ask. Come on.
And I think we've talked about that numerous times with the WWE, and I don't think they're ever really going to change. I don't think they've gotten a hint. Let's move along. We got this next match, which I don't even want to talk about for more than 5 minutes because the match didn't even last that long. It's Mark Henry versus Fandango.
Hold on, Rick. Just say no more. I'm going to do this in 2 minutes or less.
Thank you.
2 minutes or less. Here's the problem. Did we ever see this one coming with Fandango getting served up to the new revised sexual chocolate Mark Henry? That didn't look like no Hall of Pain. That
was sexual chocolate.
That was sexual chocolate.
That was sexual chocolate.
Hey, hold on.
We missed some major stuff.
Did we skip another match?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
No, that's coming next.
No.
Real America's Primetime Players next.
I must have had
yes, we did skip.
The Paul Heyman family.
The Paul Heyman family. Kofi.
Yes, we're doing that next.
Bad
Right, now,
news.
back on task. Yeah, you know what? I didn't see no World's Strongest Man. I didn't see the Hall of Pain. We got was Mark Henry and New Tide, Sexual Chocolate, Taunton Poor Summer Rae, Bing Bang Boom, Solid 3, Let's Move Along, Summer Rae wasn't impressed, who gives a fuck?
Thank you. Now we're going to go into the Real Americans and the Primetime Players. This was a great match, guys. Both of these guys have really been, impressing me. Even the Primetime Players, I had to say more the Real Americans because Antonio Cesaro always does a bit impressing me. Primetime, anyways, I'm going to, say on, go on. It came to a screeching halt because right out of the middle of nowhere, Cesaro gives Darren Young, that European uppercut. 1, 2, 3, match is over. I'm going to kick it right over to you, Ash.
All hail Cesaro, fuck Weed McMuffin. That's all needs to be said.
Good enough. Will, your thoughts?
I'm only going to say for the record, poor Titus O'Neil. And you guys know why, so let's just give this one to Lance. Poor Titus
God
O'Neil.
he didn't puke. That's all I'm going to say.
Good enough. James, your thoughts?
That's all I can say.
Okay. Joe, your thoughts?
Oh, God. I just can't believe that they have this. That they gave this guy a sick gimmick that he's throwing up and all that.
He's gonna puke.
He's puking.
I'm just gonna say, is it worse than Natalia's farting gimmick from last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could tell the farts weren't real.
Yeah.
I say it's a waste to give this guy. He's got the potential. Harlem Heat 2000, 2014 they could be, but no, they give them these ridiculous gimmicks. It's just horrible.
Well, I think that's WWE's PG era because they have to have comedy.
One half of the tag team is coming out, and the other part of the tag team is throwing up.
Well, my question is this: this is supposed to be PG-13. Who wants to see another person throw up? This is not the Attitude Era where you have puke. I personally don't want to see someone throw up on TV.
This is a Will Ferrell comedy. All kids like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, again, it was something that on Thanksgiving it happened, or Thanksgiving Friday, the Black Friday it happened, and then of course, he didn't tonight, but it just showed that he's got that sick stomach, and unfortunately, it might be an ongoing gag. We hope it's not, but let's just hope that's it's kind of like a one-time thing. But only time will tell, I guess, guys. But let's move on to the ending segment.
Hang on, we've missed 3 major bits.
Three major bits. What major bits did we miss?
Yeah, before
One, CM Punk auditioning for Rent.
Oh yeah.
Before the Fandango Mark Henry match, we forgot The Miz and Kofi versus Ryback and Curtis Axel.
Okay.
Pretty big with Miz slapping Kofi at the end after they lost.
Oh yes.
Bad news. It sucked. The end.
Bad news. Yeah. Well, that's why that's why I completely skipped him. I'm like,
And
okay.
you skipped El Torito. How fucking dare you?
How dare I skip him? Oh my God, it's a segment. Oh my God, I skipped El Torito.
If that was Alberto Del Rio, he'd go like typical Mexican person trying to steal all the merch and take it back.
I know, I skipped it. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I was a little raging bull fucking charging my door. But okay, we can talk about the Miz and Ryback match. Since I skipped it, you know what, Ash? I'll let you talk about that match. That's on you.
It was the match it needed to be because obviously Miz and Kofi seem to have patched their differences up, and basically it was a clean win for Ryback, taking out Miz so he couldn't interfere and shell-shocking Kofi. And then afterwards, after what happened last week, Miz slapped Kofi back. So I think they're doing this to try and make them, even though this is still like 6 weeks away, put them in the hunt for being Rumble contenders. They're tag team, but they're both trying to say, look, I'm the better guy. And I think it'll basically continue possibly down the line because I don't think Miz or Kofi are heel at the minute. They just don't agree with each other.
Fair enough. Anybody else want to comment on this match?
No. I want some pumpkin pie, whipped cream. Can we get along now?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we all just get along.
Yeah, all right.
Bad news, it sucked.
Yeah,
bad news, we had to watch that match.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one more thing before we go to our other half. What Joe said a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Wade Barrett's new gimmick, the real bad news, Brown, is really PO'd. I knew Joe would say something about it. I knew it.
Bad news, Alan, damn it.
I called it. Now they should bring him back and let him just beat the hell out of this schmuck. You know what? Here's a gimmick that they haven't done yet. Why not turn Wade Barrett into like the next Billy Robinson? Like
because it'll be another gimmick change. It'll be like his fifth gimmick.
No, they changed Bob Holly from a sports car driver, racing car driver, up to a Midnight Express guy to a hardcore Holly guy. They gave him more stuff. They need to really find a way to put somebody in a gimmick and make it stick.
Why don't we make him manager of 3MB? Because 3MB changes their gimmick every 5 minutes.
Yeah, but at least they know what at least everybody admits, that's the only one that makes sense.
They miss their cornballs as a son, bitch.
They're calling themselves still 3MB, but 3MB as this. It's not really a gimmick change. They're just fucking around,
Three
They're
mighty
basically
bumpkins.
the spoof guys. They're your spoof guys.
Exactly. So let's get along and to the main segment, which was the contract signing, where they were trying to figure out what they were going to be the final name was, and I believe it was going to come down to the unified titles. Which I'm sorry, guys. At the end of the day, come WrestleMania, it's going to come back to the WWE title. I think they're just doing it just so that way they can just slowly put the world title underneath the bed and or the closet or whatever they want to put it and forget about it. I don't think there's going to be a new title made. It would be that's the ultimate idea, but I don't think it's going to happen. That's just my thoughts. Anyways, Stephanie and Triple H come down to the ring, call down Radio and John Cena for the contract signing. Both guys sign the title, and then that's when Orton grabs the mic and says he's better than all the names that Triple H rattled off for the title before him, including Triple H, who got named on both the WWE World titles. Cena, of course, perks up and reminds Orton about their history of all the matches that they've had in the past. He went on to say that Triple H mentored him, for all the years, and he did nothing but take advantage of it. And now that he's lazy and spoiled, and then of course he challenged him, said, "Listen, if you make a move, right now, I'll show you what a tables, ladders, and chairs match is." He goes, "You can, step up or step aside." And of course, Orton doesn't hesitate. Threw the table aside, and as most contract signings do, we had a full TLC match, or TLC fight, should I call it? It wound up ending out where Cena pretty much puts Orton through a table via the AA. Guys, everyone's thoughts. Will, I'll let you have it.
Why am I not surprised that at least a table was going to be used in this one?
I was shocked.
I would have thought they would have left the poor table alone. Why cannot there be just a civilized contract signing? No, wait, it's the WWE. We never get that anyway. What are we talking about? It just never happens the way that we wrestling writers, fans, and promoters, there's nothing less civilized when it even comes to WWE. But as far as Orton getting put through the table, it's a sign. We don't know what type of sign, but it's a sign. We're just going to have to wait for the pay-per-view.
Sign from the gods.
It's a sign that says, "I 95, 200 yards, turn right." Even though this is like the 74,000th time that these guys have fought each other in a feud, clearly from the style of promo that they did, they can still go at it. And I think they chose the least strong of their 3 matches to showcase. Obviously last week and then 07, but the Breaking Point 09 one, I would have put the bragging rights Iron Man match, because not many people can say they're in an Iron Man match, to be quite honest. They very rarely put them out, and I think that's more significant than an I Quit match.
All right, James, your thoughts?
It was an interesting segment, and the fight really got good. So I give it a 3 out of 5.
And Lance, your thoughts?
Well, the actual back and forth on the mic was good, but Stevie Wonder himself could have saw that they were going to break out in a fight.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 3.
All right, Joe, over to you.
Well, you know what? There's one thing about Cena's little return that he, what he spoke, it kind of sounded like a shoot to me. He's kind of like, sticking it to Randy really well, because the way he just, did that little, thing back and forth with him. So they do have that good chemistry. I, for one, am not happy I'm going to see another Cena-Randy Orton match. But, at least we know that they're going to at least give 100% in their match. And I have to give it a 3.
All right. Well, you've heard all of our thoughts and what we thought about tonight's Raw. But now it's your time. What did you guys think about Raw? Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Be sure you check before you subscribe to us over at youtube.com/HWR Show. And, of course, make sure you check out Billy's YouTube page at youtube.com/TheWrestleGamer. Joe, why don't you tell everybody where you can find you at?
You can find me at home. No, just kidding.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
The wife won't let me get out anywhere. Help. No, seriously, you can find me on ClassicWrestlingAssociation.com. You can also find me on Facebook, same thing, Facebook.com/ClassicWrestlingAssociation.com. You can find us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling CWA. Also on YouTube at Pro Wrestling CWA. We're also coming up with our December 21st Toys for Tots charity show in Patterson, New Jersey. Again, check our website for more details. Come down, folks. Help us make a child smile this Christmas.
Hey, thank you. And, Will, why don't you tell everyone where you can find you at?
They can find me flying to New Orleans to beat James's ass, because why the Saints lose tonight?
It's called the cold. We don't do good in cold weather. Shut up.
Anyway, I'm just kidding. You can find me doing articles and pieces at Hardcore Wrestling Radio, and of course at the Wrestling Illustrated WGS TV. And tomorrow I will be posting up your face and heels of the week. So stay tuned tomorrow, fans, and I will show you the corrected pictures. And trust me, Los Matadores is not the faces of the week. So quit asking.
Well, I can name a name. I know who's asking, but I won't mention it here tonight.
How can they be the faces of the week? They're covered in masks. Anyway.
Ash, would you like to tell everybody where they can find you at?
Yes, you can find me in the local Wendy's 5 minutes from your local service station.
All right. Lance, why don't you tell everybody all about the Lance Moss TV?
Do album reviews, NASCAR reviews when it's in season. Little bit of wrestling reviews, cooking videos, Q&As, and where else pops in my head.
I thought you did.
All right, everybody.
Did A's
That's
and
over
Q's.
at.
Okay, I got that wrong.
And of course, that is over at youtube.com/LanceMossTV. And James, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at?
Same place as MVP. In New Orleans, beating up somebody. Just kidding.
A lot of violence tonight.
Come on. What about the homeless guy with a cheeseburger? Come on now, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He hasn't gotten off the bus yet.
Well, at least he's not riding the train of Dixie.
Oh, Lord. I'm glad there's no train here. Anyway.
I'm afraid we got bad news on that.
Up in New York City, ladies and gentlemen, the train of Dixie got derailed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too early.
No, that's
Too early. Anyway.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon. Anyway, you find me on the WGS TV Facebook page, even though I don't post up news, but I will get occasionally to help Billy out. And I'm also on the HWR Facebook page where I post the Diva of the Weekend. This week's Diva of the Week is the former Divas champion, Caitlyn. And I also have an opinion thing up on the Facebook page too.
All right, guys, make sure you check both of those out. And, of course, anytime you want to check me out at the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And also, check us out on our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/HWR Show. So for everyone here, I'm the Shining Star Rick Starr saying we'll see you when we see you.
And tonight's broadcast has been brought to you today by Los Matadores and the promo code OLE for 25% off of all your WWE merchandise.
Ole!
The preceding podcast was brought to you by the Glenn Jacobs Hair Club for Men Group.